Welcome, welcome. Going live a little early today. Mainly just so people can show up, if anyone shows up. Because I did change my time quite drastically. Mostly because it's supposed to be like 45 degrees today. And that's really hot. And my office will be even hotter than that. So, yeah. I'm just gonna oh, there's already somebody. Welcome. Just gonna share that I'm streaming in a bunch of other spots. To maybe, oh, Storm Breeze, you are first. Storm Breeze, that's right, you told me this. Let's just share this in a bunch of spots, see if we can get some more people coming. Where else am I allowed to share this? I wonder if you're really allowed to do it in the... Well, we'll try and find out. Ask for forgiveness, I say. There you go. We're actually going to record 4 videos first, in part because Anthony Baker asked me a bunch of questions. Nazar, it's actually Curtis. But it's a funny story. I had a guy call me Chris for like 2 years because he just didn't get it the first 5 times. And eventually I decided I didn't care because I knew who he was talking to. He knew who he was talking to. Why do I care about it? Anyway. Yeah, we're going to record 4 videos. Mr. Anthony Baker asked me a bunch of questions in Discord, and that is good. And I actually have to record extra videos anyways because I'm gone for an entire week. On the first full week of July, there'll be no stream because I'm just not going to be here. So I'm going to record 4 videos today. I'm going to record 3 next week, and that will just kind of keep it all cut up so that when I go away, there's no big deal, and I can skip it and everything. Oh, don't say sorry. I really don't care. So if you kept saying Chris, I would just ignore it and eventually just go by Chris too. It does not bother me whatsoever. The purpose of the name is that we both know who we're talking to. So I don't worry about it that much. We're all good. It is not too hot yet, Fabrice. What time? It says it's 74 Fahrenheit in my office. I should really change I have an air conditioner right here. But it's so loud I can't run it and stream. That's why we're streaming early. It is supposed to be 50 Celsius on Monday. And this office is all meetings. I have all meetings Monday. So I'll actually probably do it on my front deck because it will at least be outside and have some wind, hopefully. So I don't know. We'll see. It'll be hot. I definitely can't do it in here without the air conditioner on because it's just not going to work. Way too hot. Don't be happy I don't call you late for dinner. Sure. So my kids would quote, what is it? Not How to Train Your Dragon, Trolls 2, where they talk about, was that a dad joke? Because it was lame. It was pretty lame. 50 Celsius. Yeah, it's supposed to be 47, 50 Celsius on Monday. I don't think it's supposed to be that warm today. How warm is it supposed to be today? So it's 18 degrees right now. Yeah, 18 degrees right now. It's already, not a bad, already a nice day. It is supposed to be 35 Celsius this afternoon, where I'm at in Chilliwack, British Columbia. They are calling for Saturday. Tomorrow's supposed to be 40, 43 on Sunday, 44 on Monday, 37 on Tuesday. That's hot. I am in BC, Chilliwack, British Columbia. Yeah, so Tuesday is the last real hot day. Then it drops down to 33, 31. It's in the low 30s and in theory drops into the 20s. I will actually be starting on the 5th. I'm going to be, about 50 kilometers away from here and about 800 meters higher at a lake. So hopefully it's nice then. Hopefully it's still nice for us because we can just hang out at the lake all day. It's not too bad. We can just hop in and out of the water all day, especially since it's like a glacier mountain lake. That's pretty cold. You can hop in and warm up. Yeah, I'm there's 100 kilometers inland from Vancouver. So Vancouver's, 4 or 5 degrees cooler than I'm going to get. But So right now this is my office, and my office, the garage is actually, I'm like looking at the back of my car. But then I open the garage door like this much, and I often do get a good breeze. So yesterday it said it was like 83 in here, but the breeze was good enough. And you can't tell, but I actually have I have photography clamps clamping my curtain to the wall, basically to my window, to my desk on the one side. And the breeze comes in pretty good because the sun in the afternoon is like right here, like all south all day. And that's why it gets so hot. So even today, it might be that I end up picking up the laptop and working in the garage when I go to work later today, or like editing videos in the garage, something like that. Just pull out a camp chair and sit in there. So it'll just be cooler. It will just be cooler. Yeah. So I guess we should get going. I guess I should, prepare myself. I just wrote 2 more kind of posts for this based on Anthony Baker's questions. But let me get, what is this? And actually one of them is really part of my Obsidian course that'll come up. So this is helpful. Thank you, Anthony, if you get watching this. It was helpful because then I am actually going to use basically what I wrote this morning for the Obsidian course. Coming up. Let's get into one question. I actually want to know, what is... I'm just going to see what 115, you said it's storm breeze, 115, 68 Celsius. What is it? No, so it says 155 here, 115, there we go, 46. Yeah, so for me, it's going to be, say, 37, yeah, 98 degrees, pretty hot. Yeah. That's going to be hot. So now we have lots of rivers around here too. We'll probably head out to the river. My family might head out today. I will be working today though. So yeah, I'll be working today. I'll head out to the river, to the beach or something. There's like tons, like hundreds of kilometers of river around here you can kind of sneak onto. Lots of places people can get onto them. Lots of beach, lots of from sandy beach to like even totally cool beach, but like bigger rocks, stuff like that. Lots of places to hang out. You can get out on the beach lots of times within like a 2-minute walk of the car and see like almost no one, although there's like a dike for flood protection. So you see people walk along the river, but other than that, there's like almost nobody, which is pretty cool. It's also getting a little bit more road noise today because I do have my window open and birds. I don't know if you can hear the birds. And possibly my neighbor's dogs at some point because they usually pop out around 6:20, although she's not working. She's a teacher now, and school just ended yesterday. So anyway, let's get into our first video, which is going to be a bit about Templator and Obsidian. It's going to start around 8 minutes. I know this is already past 8 minutes, but still, then I can edit it later. So I'll hold silence for a minute, and then we will get going talking about Templator for Obsidian. Welcome. Today's video is going to be about using Templator in Obsidian. Just how I use it, a little bit about it, where you can find more resources on it. Before we get into that, there's a few ways you can support the channel. Number 1 is to become a patron, patreon.com/CurtisMcHale. Number 2 is to take one of my courses. You can find the links below. You're probably most interested in my Getting Started with Zettelkasting course, which is on Skillshare. There's a link to that below. And then you can just go take the course and learn about Zettelkasting. Other ways to support the channel, there's a Discord channel, link below. And you can still join me for streaming. We often have done it at 1 p.m. Pacific most of the time. But right now, because it's going to be really hot out in BC for like the next little bit, we're probably going to be doing that 6 a.m. for the next bit. So just watch the stream. I'll try to post it, especially if it's 6 a.m. the day before, so you don't miss it. Buckle up. Let's talk about Templator in Obsidian. Okay, so Templator, what is it? It is this. Let's just hop right into my stream. So it's this right here is my folder of templates. I can actually edit this template right now. They don't really want that in here. I can actually take the tag right out. So this, when I start a new book note, I just bring that in for me. Or this is a camping packing list. Clearly it's not very filled out yet. Or my content template, which has all of my checklist of things I need to do when I finish one. This is my daily note one. So this is actually where some of the power of Templator comes in. It has a whole bunch of variables for us. So it lets us set things like the file creation date. It lets me modify the date as well. So it tells me the modification date. It lets me use these variables here. So TP date now, set my format. So I set the format to match my daily notes. And I say -1. I set it off the note title because my daily notes are dated by the day. And then I can have navigation backwards, and 1 forward 0. This is a programming thing. 0 is today. So that's why you have to do -1 and 1, because it's adding 1 or taking away 1. Right? Lets me do a basic note template or my ski list when I'm going to go skiing, stuff like that. And so let's even look at today. So say today I was going to go skiing. I'm not going to go skiing. It's going to be super hot today. So I just put in here ski, and then I can hold, for me it's Command Option E, and I can put in ski list. And now I have my ski list in there. Super easy. And I could just resolve it as I went through, and I could say, yes, I have masks for everybody. I have ski helmets for everybody. I have skis for everyone. I have ski boots for everyone. Okay, really silly thing is, this year, the only time I forgot a bunch of stuff for skiing was when I didn't do my checklist. The only time this year I forgot the kids' ski boots for the littlest kids. So I had to go rent ski boots and then rent skis because the ski boots were too long. It was like a gong show. But it was a good final day of skiing, where one of my daughters skied Black Diamond for the first time, and the other one skied a whole bunch of hard blues, which was excellent because that was their first time getting off like greens. Anyway, so that's one way I use it. I also use it when let's go to my K writing board. I think there's one note in here I haven't done. Yep, the Vantage Obsidian plugin. So I would say new note from card. And then up here I'd say content template. And now I have that built out for me really nicely. Or if I am coming in here, well, I see it's updating for you and not me. If I wanted to come in here and go to my calendar and find a day that I don't have a note template for, it's automatically brought up my note template for me because I've hooked up Templator together. Now there are a lot of other things that you can do with Templator, right? Here's actually my blog post that will go with this, my daily note. There's full documentation of Templator, and there'll be a link to this in the show notes for this video, right? Yep, right here. There's full documentation of this here, so you can really dig into what the variables are, what you can do with it, and there's a whole bunch of really cool stuff for it. And there's also, thanks to Mr. Anthony Baker, who I'm going to answer some questions later in the stream today, of his, there's actually a really good forum post as well, right there. That really shows you a whole bunch of things that you can do with Templator. And just gives you a lot of other ideas, a lot of people working through it, explaining how the variables work. And I use this a bunch at the beginning, just to kind of get a handle on what needed to happen with Templator. That's it. I think Templator is an essential plugin for anyone using Obsidian. It just gives you a lot of power. It lets you standardize things. It lets you like adjust, so I can adjust my ski list in the future. I can build my camping list. I just have it all ready there for me to go. That's it. If you liked the video, thumbs up below. If you didn't like it, I don't know, give it a thumbs down, I guess. Go find someone else you do like to watch. You can support the channel by becoming a patron, patreon.com/CurtisMcHale. I'm taking one of my courses, probably the Zettelkasten course. There's a link to that below, or you can go to curtismchale.ca/Skillshare. Sign up for an account. I get some money. Find one of my courses there. You can follow me streaming often, 1 p.m. on Fridays, Pacific. But when it's really hot, we'll do it at 6 a.m. just so I can beat the heat because I do not have air conditioning. So yeah, that'll probably be the next couple weeks we do that. What else? That's it. Discord channel, links below. Thumbs up. Have a good day. Try to behave yourself today. Okay, video number 1 is done at 15 minutes, we'll call it. So where are you originally from, Stormbreeze? You miss rivers and mountains. Where are you originally from? It's also the first day we started making cold coffee instead of hot coffee because it's going to be hot. I'm actually already warm down here. And it says now 74 degrees. I'm already warm down here in my office. So this one is recorded using Templater and Obsidian. Let's drag that over. Next up, we're going to do reading in the brain review. Salem, Oregon. Home of the witch trials. My friend Ashley, what's Ashley's last name? Is in Salem. Has grown up in the area as well. Oh, that's Ashley's last name. Ashley Irving. Ashley Irving lives there. Rides bikes. There you go. Richard, finally watching you live and sober. This is much more civilized start time. Well, for you, it's 6 a.m. for me. Actually didn't sleep very good, so I was up at like 4:40 and wrote 2 more videos because I was up at 4:40. Why not? Yeah, why not? So where are you, Richard, that 1 p.m. is not a civilized start time? Just interesting to know. There's actually more people here at 6 a.m. than there has been, I think. My mind tells me there's 14 people watching right now. I may have had 17 once. It'd be interesting to see if 6 a.m. is better. I actually don't mind doing 6 a.m. because 6 a.m. I'm up often doing work anyways this time. Then I usually work until 1, and then I stop the regular job and start doing this stuff instead until the kids come home. The only thing is that consistently every single time, I guess the kids always come home when I'm streaming anyways. They'd be leaving when I'm streaming for school. So West Yorkshire near Wuthering Heights. There you go. Hey Grace, how's it going? West Yorkshire. Okay, I gotta look that up. I assume that's England. I don't know why I assume that in Wuthering Heights. Maybe that's why I assume it's England. West Yorkshire. Bradford, Leeds. Yeah, so England. Cool. Is it possible to make a graph for a single note? Yeah, it is actually. I'll find a note. Does this have any links in it? Let's go to my community note. It's actually I call it a research dashboard, but it still is. And the local graph. How do you do that? Open local graph. There you go. Graph for 1 note. And then you can. This is called the local graph. And then I can actually say filters. I can do all my filtering if I want. I can say depth. That's an interesting one. So if I wanted to go 2 notes depth. So this is like 2 steps out from my local note. Oh man, the tolerance on that is really I can't do it. Man, they gotta adjust the tolerances on it. There we go. And then I could zoom in or zoom out or inspect. So this is like everything that goes up from my community note, right? Community in the center, car ownership. And it gets all the way out to like, what's this one over here? The Second Mountain talked about this. Is another book. There is a mind map plugin as well. I haven't really looked at that yet, but there. Haven't really looked at it yet. So I will at some point. It is on my list. There you go. So we are gonna actually get the book. Hang on, gotta get the book. We're gonna talk about this one now. Reading in the Brain by Stanislas Dehaene. Stanislas Dehaene. Yeah, Stanislas Dehaene. We're gonna talk about this now, and we'll take another short break, and we've got 2 other videos to record today, and then just all watch me work and talk about Obsidian, talk about whatever. Actually, I want to look at. I have access now to the OmniFocus beta. So I was gonna. I opened it and like hit the I'll do beta stuff, and that's it. So I have not looked at it past that, and I thought I could look at it and just see what's new in it. I've used OmniFocus, and I pay for OmniFocus because it's kind of job related. I do some software reviews, but we'll look at that later. So let me write down when I'm going to start this video first. Okay, started like 20 minutes, right? 20. Just make sure it goes past 20 now. 1958. 20 minutes. There you go. Now we'll do some silence and record about reading in the brain. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about Reading in the Brain by Stanislas Dehaene. This was actually the first book we were going to do for book club in my Discord channel, and you know what? It was so boring and took me so long to read, I just canceled it. So that kind of gives you an idea of what I'm going to talk about in this book and whether you should read it or not, because we never even talked about it as a group because it just, yeah, it was not that good. Anyway, before we get into that, a couple ways to support the channel. Number one is to become a patron, patreon.com/CurtisMcHale. Number two is take one of my courses. You can find links to them all individually below. But you can go to curtismchale.ca/Skillshare, create an account. I get a little bit of money from that. Helps out the channel. You can also follow us streaming. We're trying today, 6 a.m. Pacific. We'll probably do that on really hot days for probably for a good chunk of the summer. We have often been doing it at 1 p.m. Pacific, though. So join us there. But let's talk about Reading in the Brain by Stanislas Dehaene. Okay, so the purpose of this book is so that we can understand more about how our brain works, because most of us have a better basic understanding of how our car works than we do our brain, and we use our brain far more. We use our brain like, all the time. Yeah, that's about it. Now he actually takes us fairly far into brain. This is where it kind of got boring, to be honest. Because although he talks about the mechanics of reading, like our fovea, we have about 15 degrees of vision in front of us that's actually useful for reading, page 13. Anything outside of that is just not useful for reading. We don't actually see much outside of 15 degrees. Our brain just tricks us into thinking we do. It's mostly bad peripheral vision that we can't actually see. But if you have a genetic limitation or any type of damage to your eyes in that 15 degrees, you basically can't read because you cannot see well enough. Another interesting point is that we move our eyes in little jumps called saccades. They're about 9 letters long. And though training, we can change this a little bit. So some of our saccades actually go back, and we can do better at not going back if we do some speed reading training. That's really what it is. It's just improving your saccades and how well you saccade. That's it. Super interesting point about visual acuity is that people who read left to right have better visual acuity going towards the right. So we can see more letters in front of where we're reading to the right. When people that read right to left, the opposite way, can see more going the other way. That's just an interesting, I thought, brain piece, because that's really interesting. Another interesting point was how we learn to read. There's kind of 3 stages. The first is simply pictorial recognition. You'll even see this in kids when they're like, hey, for me in Canada, that's Tim Hortons, and they recognize a sign. But if I put up the Tim Hortons sign and the Tim Hortons lettering and put totally different words there, totally fool them. They would be like, oh, that's still Tim Hortons, because they're just doing this is a broad pictorial recognition of something. And they do that with words too, right? That's how they'll get is and it mixed up, and other words that look similar, they're just totally baffled by them because it's a pictorial recognition and it's close enough that it fools them. Stage 2 is when children start to learn to decode sounds that make up a word. It's actually where my 7-year-old is right now. She's kind of between stage 1 and 2. She tries to take the easy route of just pictorial recognition and then misses the word because it's not really what it is. She's just kind of guessing. So if she sounds it out, she can often get them. She does miss, a few things like the SH sound together. She often will still do them separately, and then, we say, hey, it's a sh together sound. And then the third is called orthographic, which means that reading is almost instant because we just have a large set of sounds and we can just decode them. That's when you look at, some like me, orthographic. I can look at it, decode the sounds, and know that this is how you'd say it, even a totally new word that I haven't got. So finally, chapter 3. Honestly, this is kind of where I stopped taking notes because the rest of it just got so sciencey and boring and brain scans that I just couldn't do it anymore. I don't feel bad about it. Book was not for me. But he talks in chapter 3 about how our brain's adapted for reading, and he has I've heard this before, called an idea called exaptation, and that is the idea that some other biological process is pirated, taken for a benefit now. So we didn't grow up, we didn't evolve to learn to read, but biological processes, our eyes, other things is just suited to it or suitable to it, so then we just kind of pirate them. The exaptation stuff is cool, and I looked a little bit more at the ideas specifically in other realms. I'd love to do that some point in the future. This is even how we see feathers for warmth and then they turn into flight. Exaptation, same idea. But honestly, the rest of the book was so boring I didn't take any notes. Kind of ended there. I just Should you read this book? Probably not. It's really boring. It's really deep in the science, really deep in the weeds about how to do your how we read. If you really want to dig into like the brain chemistry behind it, how our brain works, and brain images, sure. If you're not into that, then just don't bother because it's kind of boring. I'm sending the book back. That's really it. If you liked the video, thumbs up below. If you loved it, then subscribe, hit the bell. YouTube will let you know what happened. But honestly, turn off the notifications on your devices because you have better things to do than just get notifications all the time. You can support the channel by becoming a patron, patreon.com/CurtisMcHale, or by taking one of my courses. CurtisMcHale.ca/Skillshare will take you to Skillshare where you can sign up for an account and then just take one of my courses, or you can find the direct links to those below. You can also join us for streaming. Right now in the summers, it's probably going to be 6 a.m. Pacific. So I can beat the heat because I cannot have my air conditioner on in the office and stream at the same time because it's way too loud. That's it. Have an awesome day. 26:30. We'll say that ended at. All right. Acceptation was a term coined by the late, great Stephen Jay Gould. I'm currently working on a book about Darwin and will be writing on this subject soon. That was Richard. I don't know where I read it first, to be honest. I just don't know where I read it first, but I have read it before, and I'm not sure that I was taking good notes at the time. Where did I read that? I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing now. Yeah. What was your... Grace, I'm not sure what to say about your question, so I can only link to other notes. I'm not sure. You mean you can only link to other notes? I think, oh, with the local graph you're saying. So with our local graph, if I go into, let's go back to community. I have a tag in here. Open local graph. Filters. So I have tags turned off, so I could link to a tag, but I don't have. I'm actually going to talk about this in a video, like literally just now, in a minute. Why I don't use tags as much and I use more links. So tag note is right there, right? Tag note. I don't have other tags, so you could link out to other tags. You can link out to other notes. Neighbor links. I don't even know what that does. Oh, it shows when they link to each other. Okay, right. So you can see right here. Right, so the thoughts on building an electric cars. So if I turn those on, off, just shows which one notes inside link to each other. And I could go to existing files only. I could set up groups if I wanted. I don't have any groups right now. I do have groups in my main graph. This looks really slow, I think, on stream, at least for me, but it does not operate this slow when I'm using it. So I have them for writing ideas are in red and tag notes are in brown. So you can see I got to read is a big one and book is a big one. So that's a status. I'm going to talk about exactly tag notes versus links in a second. Like that's literally a topic today. So those two I don't need to know as much, but looking at like author is another one. Failure, I'll probably just switch that out. That's probably not what I really want there. What was my other tag note? Let's go into it. Here's another big one. To summarize is a big one. Tag note. All right, okay, so the blue ones. These are tag notes that are cognitive bias. We're going to talk literally about this in just a minute, so why don't we just go to that? Go to that in a second. Let's go to... I noticed actually on my last stream that my graph seems really slow on stream, but it's not actually that slow at all ever else. So we're going to talk about tags or links right now. If we had read Darwin, it's... So for those in the stream, Stormbrise says, my environmental biology professor said that if we have read Darwin, congratulations, the book is super boring. Yeah, so I found reading in the brain super boring. It's going back. I'm never going to read it again. Super, super boring. But we're going to talk about tags or links now. And why I use them, what I use them for, and show them off to you. Oh, I gotta stretch. Scott, I do have the OmniFocus beta. We're going to look at it after. Once I get through this video and one other video, and then I'm going to, because I'm away in a bit, so I need to just record some extra stuff, and then we'll actually look through it. I have not looked at it yet, so we'll be looking at it together to see exactly what it is. Say this starts at 30. For me, it just needs to be approximate, so I know about where to start cropping, and then I go really crop after. All right, let's do our silence again for a minute, and then I'll introduce the video, and we will start talking about links versus tags in Obsidian. You know what, I should open it up on my iPad too, because I will use it as a reference. Tags or links. That's the one I want. I actually have two of them right now, but that's really the one I want. So it's up on my iPad, out of your sight. All right. Welcome. Today's video, we're going to talk about the difference between tags and links and how I use them. Because I use them a little differently than some people, although I have seen Mr. Brian Jenks use them in a very similar way. And he kind of gave me the idea to start down this route anyways, but I've been asked, so let's dive into it. Before we do that though, a couple ways to support the channel. Number one is to become a patron. Patreon.com/CurtisMcHale. Number two is to take one of my courses. Zettelkasten is probably the one you're most interested in. You can find a link to that directly below, or you can go to curtismchale.ca/Skillshare, sign up for an account, search my name, find my courses. You can join me streaming. For the summers, it'll be 6 a.m. probably, Pacific, to beat the heat, because I can't have my air conditioner on and it'll be hot. That's about it. Let's dive in and look at tags or links. Okay. So tags or links, let's just dive in. Here's my notes on this exact topic right now. So I do two things. I have, there's two different ways, and Anthony said, right? Do you do links with the square brackets, or do you do hashtag tags or tags and why? So first off, I have two broad note categories, and you can see them over here. I have notes. These are notes on like research I'm taking, my own original ideas, thoughts, like on any type of research, on a book, on the books, so books, because I also write reviews, I write probably take more notes on them than a lot of people should or would, but I write some notes inside the book note itself, and I write some actually get their own note, because I think it's a bigger idea that I'm going to carry on past the book. It'll go into my notes folder, and then I also have tags. So tags are something like To Do. To Do is actually an app, and I should tag it as tag app. Right, or the 1982 Beirut Massacre, that's another one. This is it's probably an event, and it's a tag note. So in some other reading I've done, and I could look back to my backlinks, this is why I do it. I can look back to my backlinks. I can say, where did I talk about this? In the hostile media effect. Talking about that idea, and then it links back to the 1982 Beirut Massacre. So any other time in a book it references the 1982 Beirut Massacre, I will come in here and I'll link it in there as an event that's important. And this is kind of why I differentiate between the two, right? So one really strong thing about links is that it lets me look up the backlinks like this, right? I could look up, a better one is, I know because I've looked at it already on the stream a few times, is my community one. I can come in here and I can see all the backlinks to it, but even better, I can also open up my local graph. Of course, I can already hear a child up at 6:30 in the morning. And I can look at all the different notes that link to it really easily. And if I decide, and I know at some point I want to really turn this into something more, I can just start writing right in here for that and start expanding on the note and turning it into more. Whereas a tag doesn't really exist. Like, it doesn't exist as a note, as a file for me to dig into. And that's why I have two different ones. So tags are going to be things like, right, acceptance is a tag note. Acuity is an app, technically software, but I'll just classify them all as app. Ada Calhoun is a person. Right, so I actually tag those as people. Even my wife gets the people tag. Adam is a people. And then this lets me go into my graph view later on and have some groups for them as well, right? Writing note, tag notes. And I can look at what I want to do. So when I have one of these ones that comes really big and blue as a tag note, I know it's something I want to write about. or I should look into it. Right, here's one. Community has a lot to it already. So I know that I could look at community and maybe start writing about it. At this point, I know it's got a lot of blank resources. We've already seen this note. But that's what it's there for, so that I can really dig into the note and I can turn it into something easily. I'm still going through the process of doing this in some of my folders because I just, it's kind of a new idea. Actually, on my last stream, someone asked me this question. I said, I should probably do it like this, or here's a way to like do the coloring of it. I should add tag note to them. And anything that has tag note gets a blue. So that helps me surface it better. Although they're all already linked or tagged like this. That's really why I do it. So there's your answer to your question, Mr. Baker. If you like this video, thumbs up below. If you loved it, subscribe, hit the bell. YouTube will let you know when something happens. What else do I got here? Have a good day. Well, you can become a patron, patreon.com/CurtisMcHale. We stream. It's a Discord channel. Links to all this stuff is below. Now you can have a good day. Mr. Jeff, I'll get to your question in a second. Okay, writing. Tags are links. And at around 36 minutes. 36. So knowing my luck, like I have terrible luck, but we're going to bet today they have a bunch of machines running next door too. Jeff asks, so I have a Obsidian question. How do you organize your notes? Do they all just go in a folder and you let links, tags, connect everything? Well, you kind of just saw that, Jeff, actually. I'll do a quick. How do I organize it? I have two broad categories for, I guess, my main notes. So tags are what I just talked about, tags. And notes are like my thoughts on things. This is a summary of an article, right? Another summary of an article. A bunch of article summaries in here. A big idea, right, from Free Range Kids. Right, 10% toy, 90% kid. I'd actually might even say that that's a tag. Let's see, this is right. There is some gray area and some organization, as you hear a plane go by as well. So my notes are kind of my thoughts, summaries of stuff, and tags are, I guess, collection points for big ideas. So you can actually see, as I've already linked to my community one a few times in the stream, I've talked about it. That one is actually already turning into something bigger. I've moved that up to my research dashboards. These are kind of my the overarching ones. Kind of here's the big ones I want to dive into. So I've read one of these books, but there's lots of other stuff, and there's lots of other notes that link to this already from other places. And then I have inbox is just for stuff I need to sort. There's a bunch of stuff right now. Daily notes. Craft is a holding place for stuff that I just haven't organized yet from craft. Courses is for my courses. Clients is for our clients at work. Actually, kind of all my clients really. Like that is a client I write for GoDaddy. Honda is a motorcycle site out of Malaysia. Paulette Perhatch is a people. She was a writing coach I had. But she should really be in tags. There we go. All right, and actually I should need to probably add a notes folder in here because this is actually a task for a client. This is just notes on something for a client. That should probably be in its own folder as notes for that client. And Bella Grove's functionality as well. That's functionality for a site I built. Books here is for all of the books that I not even just read, all the books that I have kind of cataloged, right? So if I go in here, World to Email has actual notes. All in has, this is honestly just copied and pasted a review at this point. I need to go back through some of my old stuff and go back through and kind of take better notes on it. I do have them in notebooks. All Joy No Fun. This is just a book I want to read, right? So I actually should come in here and say, book to read. Actually, I guess those are up there in that. So I have found that color coding in the graph doesn't seem to work unless I have a hashtag, and it doesn't seem to work if it's in the YAML format. That's maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe it totally works, but again, All Things Shining. That's a to read book again. Book. There we go. So that's kind of how I do it. That's my basic organization. Book lists are for like actual lists of books I'm ordering from. Oh, I actually got this book, so I can delete it. Redefining Girly. So when I'm going to order new books from my book, then Bookman, I go into here. Books on parenting, kind of just a collection note on that. Books on race, big table of books on race. Brian Jenks uses emojis as tags. Stormbreeze. Books on transgender, books on writing, manager books. So that's that one. And the boards is just for organizing my boards. Templates for templates. Writing for stuff I'm like writing. So so my writing, especially Mark Kent I'm writing. And here I should have a note that says K writing too for a board. Oh yeah, right there. So this is my actual board, and any writing notes that are specific to this go in there. Now, some of them I may actually also be using in like my upcoming Obsidian course, in which case they'll be in with the Obsidian course. I'm just also writing about them and using them as a video here. Often as a demo, I'll probably re-record them all, even though I've done them on stream once, but I'll re-record them and I will not stream live my course. Just that way I can like do edits and do better that way. So I agree with Jeff. I don't know that I like emojis unless it's like a, I just don't think I like emojis, especially if you're going to use the iPad. And I use my iPad a lot, so I don't think that's going to work as much for me. So, okay, let me use my iPad to get ready. K writing. I had my first issues with the iPad today. With the iPad version of Obsidian today. It crashed a few times. I don't know why. It just started crashing. So that's it. Let's get ready to do this one. We're going to talk about why I use or do not use timestamps, which actually kind of goes with the last video we just recorded. So we're going to say we started this around 41 minutes. Oh, I'll call it 42. Oh, crash from the kid. My wife should be getting up any minute now. She's supposed to go running with a friend at 8 o'clock. That's 6:37, so which I assume she's going to get up at 7, and she can deal with said kid, but maybe said kid will be mine to deal with. Okay. One more bit of silence. Then it's just all questions and looking at the new OmniFocus beta. Hopefully. Hopefully. Welcome. In today's video, we're going to talk about when I use date stamps in my note titles and when I don't use them. So another question from Mr. Anthony Baker, who joins us in Discord. And there'll be a link to that below if you want to join us in Discord. And it's fairly quiet, although we're starting to have some, more consistent discussion on books or on just topics in general. Questions like Mr. Anthony Baker asked. Before we do that, a few ways to support the channel. Number 1, become a patron, patreon.com/CurtisMcHale. Number 2 is to take one of my courses, like my course on Zettelkasten. Which is probably what you're most interested in if you're watching that. There's a direct link to that below, or you can go to curtismchale.ca/Skillshare, where you can just go straight to Skillshare, sign up for an account. I get some money, find my course there. That's all I got right now. Let's dive in and look at when I use date stamps and when I don't. So one of the first things to understand, and for those that are joining me on stream as I record this, we already talked about it, is that I have a couple types of notes. Number 1 is my notes. These are article summaries. These are my own thoughts on things, stuff like that. And the second one is tags. Tags are collection points, like the 1982 Beirut massacre. That's an event. It's a tag note. So at some point, maybe, the 1982 Beirut massacre will have like a whole bunch of research and a whole bunch of stuff that's linked back to it, and I might actually decide to write about this. Ableism is another one, right? If I opened up my local graph on this, I can see local graph. What do I have on that? I have a few, not a lot on it right now. Right, but ableism is another topic I could write about, or acceptance, right? Or addiction is another one. We have just one in there, ADHD. There's a few notes in there. And so these are notes that are going to could possibly become better content, bigger content later, something I will write about, something I will do a video about, something that's just more than, it's more than a simple tag. Tags I use for tag note for, say, something's a book, it's a person, a people, I usually call them, right? So Ada Calhoun gets tagged as people because she's a people. Yeah. And then my notes are, and this is just a brief one, I did a better video on this, which I will link up above for those watching this later, are things like this, right? Where we have an actual note in here. It's a summary of an article, and you see it has a date stamp in it. So Anthony's question is, why do you date stamp and why don't you date stamp? So I date stamp in my notes, and I don't date stamp in my tag notes. I don't date stamp in my tag notes because there really should only ever be one instance of them. There should be no, everything should be linking back to that. Now there may be aliases of it. So say community is also community building, community breakdown, and city planning and city infrastructure, like the same note basically. So they all have aliases and they all link to one spot. I do not date stamp that because I want it to just be that one instance of it, and that's it. Whereas my notes, I may come up with a note in a book, and I have two different books, and they basically need the same title because it's the most descriptive way, and then the date stamp differentiates between them. That's really it. It's not. That's it. I date stamp my notes. I don't date stamp my tag notes. So that's it. If you like the video, thumbs up below. If you loved it, you can subscribe, hit the bell. YouTube will let you know something happened, but probably turn off your notifications because who wants notifications? You don't. You should hang out with your kids or something like that. Either way, to support the channel, to become a patron, patreon.com/CurtisMcHale, or to take one of my courses, like my Zettelkasting course, link to that below, or you can go to Skillshare, curtismchale.ca/Skillshare to just take one of my courses. That's it. Have a good day. Try not to fall in today. Okay, 45:58 is when we end this. I'll call it 46. Martha says, I've always struggled with tags, trying to have enough to be useful, but not too many that it becomes useless. So one thing I really like, Martha, now is, I just did a video on this. I think it comes out on Monday. I did record it last week, though. If I go to community, is aliases, right? Community is also community building. It really could be community breakdown as well. I have a community breakdown note. I do have a community breakdown note. So in theory, oh, that's actually community breakdown. So in theory, this should actually have a date stamp to it. The date stamp doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't care what day I actually looked at this, so today is fine. 2021 0642. So this is not really a tag note. This is a it links out to community. So it linked to itself. What I really want to do is go back to split vertically. I want to go in here and go to community. I want to go, I actually like this format better. Community breakdown. So this links to itself. That's not really what I want. This should say community breakdown. Oh, it didn't pick up my alias yet. This is a writing idea, so it's full. I do want that. If I want to do community breakdown, then I should go. It's not showing my alias. Building or community. Oh, so I have another community building. So this is also building. That's good. So that's no, it wants me to create that note. Okay, let's create it and let's see what backlinks to it actually. Let's go to honestly, I need to come in here and change these because community building are the same thing as is. So this is community. I don't even need that. There's clearly organization to do in here. Right, Strong Towns is an organization in here as well. So I think that tag notes are better. I already talked about this in the stream. I think that tag notes are a better way to organize this. Clearly I have more organization to do. I did a video a while ago that says if you think you can just have a no work research system, then you're kind of fooling yourselves. You are fooling yourselves. Okay. So let's also look at, if you've got other questions, I'm up for them. But I want to look at the OmniFocus beta today. Yeah, Testflight is here. Start testing. And what is new? Welcome to OmniFocus 4. You have a 14-day trial. Sign in or sign up. So I actually already pay for Omni stuff. Omni account. Do it again. This probably means I don't have my Omni account. Subscription found. Continue with OmniFocus 4. Set up sync. I have no idea what data is in here. You can all find my email, but honestly, that was already. It's on my website, so you could have found it anyways. Ooh. My coaster had too much water on it. So, my cold coffee. I got a little bit of drips of water all over my desk. Well, just water. Find and connect devices on my local network. Okay. OmniFocus needs my permission in order to do what? Notifications. Allow access location. Sure, why not? Allow while using the app. Yeah, sure. Access calendars. Okay. The Amazon device, or the send anonymous data. Sure, like we're in beta, so like that's the whole point. So what's new? I'm gonna open it up on this. This is the new OmniFocus. What are our keyboard commands? Focus always had good keyboard commands anyways. New inbox item. What's that? Control option space. There you go. I like that. So it didn't have a good way to do that. I think in iOS 15 I'll be able to have a global shortcut to work with it as well. So new tasks. So, and then can I hit Command N? How do we accept a new task? Toggle flag. Save Command S. Save plus Command Option S. Okay. Kind of like Command Enter for that instead, to be honest. But that's fine. Because that's what it is on like lots of other things, like send an email. So Command Option S gave me a new one. It's a nice little animation. So I'm actually using Obsidian for my task manager right now because they're pretty light needs. The biggest issue with Obsidian is that it's hard to find tasks that you didn't do in previous days. It wants to like, here's all undone tasks everywhere, which means like my book list would be, because some of them have like a checkbox beside them for visual reasons. And I hear 2 kids up now. So what do you want to bet? I have at least one of them come down, which happens almost every stream anyways, I suppose. But in the morning, they might just not even be dressed, sleeping in their underpants. So I'll have to like keep them out of frame quickly. What can we do? I can't tab between things. I can toggle flag. I can go to info. So Control 1. Is it supposed to go Control 1? 2? Oh, okay. I can't start typing. I wish I could start typing. It's great that I can like Control 1, 2, and 3 to go between these things. But I can't actually enter data, right? Attachments. No, I can't. I can toggle flag. Go Shift Command L. Okay. Tags. Do I have any? I do have some tags in here. I was trying a couple weeks back to use the OmniFocus Kanban plugin, and they just weren't doing it for me. So I could say that this is a chore. And I have a project. Be errands. Estimated duration dropped. No, I don't have any notes about it. Save. Okay. What's this? Just have to click it. New perspective. Oh, that's right. We can do more with perspectives now, can't we? What is the OmniFocus beta? OmniFocus 3 for Mac. OmniFocus beta. I want to get a rundown of what is new. In here. Where do they have that? In the forums? Products. Support blog. I wonder if they're releasing in here, like what they're doing. If you have other questions you want to talk about, then by all means, I'm willing to look at them. OmniFocus for web, OmniFocus 1 for Mac, Lounge. OmniFocus 4 first look. So there is, this is what it says. Introducing OmniFocus 4 as a first look at the update. Currently developing iPad and iPhone is now available on the blog. What am I doing at the moment? I'm looking at OmniFocus 4 beta. I recorded 4 videos, and now we're looking at the OmniFocus 4 beta because I just got access to it like yesterday. And I'm wondering if my kids are going to come down. Because now they're arguing. OmniFocus 4 beta. What do they want that's new on it? That's not great. That's less helpful. Okay, I feel like I got the Testflight on my phone too. Let me look at it on my phone. Testflight. Install. I hear the construction guys talking next door too now. Open OmniFocus 4. What to test? Icons, date picker. Now visually updates to reflect changes when a signed date is cleared. So the date picker has updated. Let's check out the date picker. Calendar. I like that. You can just add 1 day, 1 week. And then if I go, oh, shows it up there. That's nice. Clear. What's this right here? Oh, I can just take a note easily. Oh, okay, I like that. What do I have as far as overall tasks? I have to review. Chores, I did that. Okay, the review feature in OmniFocus is like just the best that's out there. There's no questions about it. It is excellent. Invoicing. I invoiced the coaching students. So if you really want to dig into some coaching together for like your research process, by all means, reach out to me, Curtis, at curtismchale.ca, and we can talk about coaching for that. Do the date picker, the navigation list. Edits to projects and folder titles in the navigation list are now reliably saved. Well, that's good. That's good, since I want them done. Projects. 2-finger click. Do today. I can set the whole project do. That's nice. I can focus on it. It means I'm just focused on that. That's nice. How do I get out of unfocus? Right there. Is there a keyboard command for unfocus? Sync, clean up, expand, collapse. Focus on focus, shift command F. There we go. Okay, can I switch to toggle and use my keyboard? Toggle flag, toggle dropped, new action, new folder. New action above, shift, enter, okay. Group, inbox project, so I go to command 2. Okay. Morning, Rashab. Quite an early stream. Well, it's going to be like 40, almost 40 Celsius today. So it's going to be hot. That's why we're streaming early. We're probably going to stream early for a bit. And I actually like 6 a.m. So if the same amount of people come, I might just stream at 6 a.m. all the time. Because, you know, why not? You said earlier there was no great way to gather or roll over to-dos in Obsidian. I did say that, Brad. 2 great plugins I use are Daily Rollover To-Do and Checklist to gather all to-dos in your system into one place and roll over unfinished to-dos from your daily note. Okay, let me look at this. Okay, let's look at this. So you say 2 great plugins are, what are they? daily rollover. So let's look this up. Community plugins. Not search installed. Browse. Roll over. Daily. Rollover daily to-dos. Okay, what's that one? This plugin will roll over any checkboxes from your last daily note into today's note. This Obsidian plugin will roll any uncompleted. Okay, that sounds cool. And the other one is checklist. To gather all to-dos in your system into one place and roll over unfinished to-dos from your daily note. Okay, checklist was another one. So I think checklist I've looked at. Yeah, so across all files. That's a problem. I have to be tagged as to do, so I don't have a lot of, I guess if they're not tagged as to do, then they're not tasks, so that's fine. That would actually allow me to differentiate between, say, book a list of books where I have a checklist, like in a research project where I want to read all these books before I'm really ready for it. That would be interesting. Show completed. So my to-do. My to-do topic A. Okay, so like projects, I guess, by using the slash tags to group. Let's install it and see. So now here's a question. What's today's daily note? Let's look at today's daily note. And what was in, you know what? I just gotta double check. What was in yesterday's daily note first before I show it to you. Yeah, I gotta kill some stuff. Just hide some stuff that has me information from my employees, the people that I manage. I can't really show you that. That's not fair to them. Tasks. So if I task, and I go to today, rollover daily. Let's go in. Oh, you know, I probably didn't even turn it on. Okay, that's okay. I find this. I do find that a little annoying. So checklist is not turned on. Then you got to remember to install it and then turn it on. And query language, I don't have that one. I don't need that one right now. What are settings for rollover daily to-dos? Template heading. Which heading from template to-dos go under? Oh, it's not on my template. So I need to go to my template daily. Should go under tasks, and that will match up with some of my other ones. So does that read it that fast? It does tasks. That's it. Okay, so let's go to today. I guess I need to add this tasks because it's not there. Daily. Is it only if I create a new daily note? So how do I get this to roll? So what I've been needing to do, I don't always do, is I come in here and I say move task, and I'd move it to like today. And it gives me that little arrow, which is similar to a bullet journal. That's how I've been moving them, but I have to remember to do it is the big thing. That's probably the hardest part. So, and I just forget sometimes, like I gotta double check. Let's see if I can find one that has stuff that didn't get done in it. And I need to hide stuff. Sage. I'm also seeing that I need to do Sage Might as well tag a new client. And no tasks in that one. Meetings, tasks, I did them all. So I just can't show you these because they have some stuff that's check Bella Grows tasks. Wow, so far I've done like every task every day. That's nice. Tasks should be just doubled. I don't even know because I can't even find one. Okay, so there's one. So here's one from a really old one. So Kevin, the big thing is I just have such light task management now. Like, even if I go to today, like what do I have to do today as far as tasks go? I'm trying to think. I know there's something. Okay, so I'm gonna need to tweak Bella again. This is for a client, Bella Groves. We just launched it, bellagroves.com. Beautiful site. Needs some mobile work. Needs some tweaks mobile. What else do I have to do? Oh, right. Sage project. Brief, need to hire a freelancer to build one of the sites coming up because we just have like 3 launching. We launched 2 to 3 sites between mostly me. No, actually, between 3 of us, we launched 3 sites. One of them's a junior developer. We actually launched a site that I started. She did all the QA on, did all the repairs on, and then she launched that one. It was awesome. We have 2 other sites that are like ready to launch soon. And then I have a site coming up to build while I'm away, and I have a site coming up just after I come back, and I have a site coming up like 3 more weeks after that. So this one I can't do. So that's what I need to write. Sage project brief. What else do I need to do? That's all I can remember right now. I should probably look at the accessibility course as well if I have some time. So that's kind of my task management needs. Like, it's just more of like a daily hit list. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. The big thing is though, like then I also manage home, right? Backlog, get a new barbecue cover. Like, none of these are like crucial. Don't have to do them immediately. Recycle a monitor and cables. I have an old monitor that I just need to take over. Like, I basically just have them walk down the street. It's like not 1 block away. Get security solar lights. Like, those are the tasks that I have to manage. I don't have like a lot of huge tasks to manage anymore because most of my stuff is managed in Rike. And the other thing I would have to do is like, here's, this is just general Obsidian things I'm doing, right? Use tag node on files and tags. This is just like an organization thing, and I just need to do that. Here's some other ideas. Can I do Kanban cards into my daily note? So if anything that's tagged as today in a Kanban card, can I pull that? I guess it's technically a task, right? Because if I go into here and view it as open as markdown, it's just a task like that, and the Kanban one just kind of parses it all. So can I pull those, anything that has dated today to pull in? That's it, right? So here's some writing ideas for work, home, camping, some camping stuff. Fix elastics in the MSR tent. I don't even know if I'm going to... No, I need to do that. Wax the zippers on our tents. Here's a list of first aid supplies. So that's most of what my task management is. Like, nothing's that crucial, right? The biggest crucial thing was like order pizza for my daughter because she's lactose intolerant and they couldn't get her pizza at school. So I just got to order and go pick it up and take it like on a day. That's it. I don't have a lot of heavy task management. It's all taken in Rike. All of probably my biggest thing is my writing, which I manage in this board right here. All right, I already recorded this today with you all. I'll produce those videos later. So I got to publish them, right? And these are scheduled. So these are, I got to write this one and then I'll mark it as scheduled. Migrating from Craft to Obsidian. That's another one I just need to write a bit about. And then I'll mark it as scheduled. Recording those next Friday, 6 a.m. And why I moved back to Obsidian is already done. So that's why it's already on the schedule. I wrote it already. Yeah. So I don't have a lot of task management needs that are heavy. And I'm in Obsidian every day. That's the other thing. Like, I'm in Obsidian every day with my daily note. So I always see it. And the biggest issue I found with task managers long term is I just stop checking them. I just stop checking them. And then it's useless. As soon as you don't check it for like a couple days, it's just useless. So no checklists found for tag to do. That's interesting. Okay. So we're back to, I was looking at other stuff. What was I looking at? Let's go to my today. So no checklists found for tag to do. So that means I have to go to do. Okay. So that collects it. What happens if I go to, so there's no note for Saturday. So it's just going to show me them all. So at the very least, if I actually did it like this, it would let me go in and say, oh, look, there's undone things from a previous day, right? And I could go back to said previous day and move these. So that's useful. And what else could you do with that? That was with the checklist plugin. There's a few other things in here. Checklist to do, that's fine for me. I don't care. Show completed. I don't want to show, no, I don't want to show completed. So that's good. Group sort, old to new, that's fine. Ignore files that contain this text anywhere in the file path. Like template to ignore template. So I do want to ignore, what do I name it? Templates. Anything in boards should also be done. So include files, only search files whose path begins with templates and boards is probably, or I could just search daily notes, since really it's just daily notes that I need to do. So I could just go with anything that has daily in it. That's the only ones I care about, and have the tag of to do. Leave empty to capture all. Yeah, so, but that also would mean, let me just go back to here. Where's a note? Can I show you this? Yeah, I can show you that. So if I left it empty to capture all, that means like all of this stuff here, that was like a task. I had to, like a hit punch list for a client that we launched, I had to go through that. Then I would collect all that, and I don't really want that. I only want to collect like my tasks at the bottom. Right? Sounds like my kids just made a huge mess, and my wife's annoyed because we spent like 2 hours cleaning up their stupid mess from yesterday. I guess I should have gone up and stopped them. Anyway. So checklist sounds interesting, and that would at least highlight the tasks that haven't moved forward. I know I should check. Does checklists work on my iPad community plugins? See, these things don't sync. Obsidian query language is in there. Good. So browse. Checklist needs to work. Checklist on my iPad as well for this to be really useful. Install. And almost everything has. We got a bunch of stuff in here. I'll look at your questions in a second. I like that you can just enable real quick there. Failed to load plugin. Enable. Does it not work? If it doesn't work here, that's kind of a bummer for me. Checklist. Failed to load. Okay, let's just quit this for a second. Load it again. Community plugins. Checklist. So that's not going to work on my iPad. That's unfortunate. Thanks for the idea, though. If it's not going to work on my iPad, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. So we have some other discussions here. Brad, thanks for that, but I don't even know. Like, if it doesn't work on my iPad, that's far less useful to me because I work on my iPad a bunch. On my phone, actually, for checklist, stuff like that. What else has been happening? Kevin, we're trying to figure out how best to articulate it. Yeah, I just stopped looking at it. That's a big thing that breaks it down for me. I think the big thing, Kevin, is you just need to keep checking your task manager. You need to like set up a routine. This goes with like why like a no effort management system isn't going to happen. It's just not going to happen because you have to do some sort of management with it. So you have to do some sort of management with your task management system. That's it. Yeah. Oh, Jitendra asks or says, "Hi Curtis, I tried Zettelkasting for a month, but now I've gone off the rails. What would your suggestion to me to be able to how to Zettelkasting with consistency? Schedule a time to do it." Everyone wants a no research, easy to use management system, and the truth is it's not going to happen. You have to do the work. If you're not going to schedule the work, what you're really saying is, I want to be someone that has a Zettelkast, and I want to be someone that has all these nodes, but I'm not willing to put in the effort. Just like, hey, I tried running for a bit, and it just fell off the rails, and I can't do it. You want to be a runner. You don't want to go through the hard process of becoming a runner. That's what I'd say. You have to sit down and do it. So something I do, like something I was going to do today if we had the time, was like literally go through into here. I need to open up my Obsidian one, and I'm on E, and I would go into my tags, scroll down to E. Right here, where's E? Because I finished at E last time, right? Finished E. I would start with F. And I have to go through here and start with Facebook, right? This is an app. Enter factory work. This is a tag note. Faith. Tag note. Families. Tag note. Fatherhood. Tag note. You actually gotta do the work. Female. That's a tag note. My Amazon device that I just talked to them. Feminism. That's a tag note. Right? Ferguson, Missouri. It's gotta be a city, right? Let me check. Ferguson, Missouri. Oh, it's a city. What links to this? Why did I create it? So now we gotta actually look at this. What happened? Here's one of the first poor suburbs. Yep. So that's a city. All right. Filter bubbles. This is a tag note. Finance. This is a tag note. You gotta do the work. If you're not gonna do the work, then it's just not gonna happen. And show crisis. So this is a tag note as well. Fire Task Pro. So again, this is again, I've got to do management. So I know that Fire Task Pro, I have a duplicate here, so I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to open Fire Task Pro 1. This is now misnamed, so I'm going to go back in and rename it. That's going to actually fix everything. It gets tags Kanban, tags GTD. Yep, and it is as far as a type of note, it's an app, and in theory, I'll review it at some point, but these are the two categories it falls into as far as tag notes. It's a Kanban app, it's a GTD style app. So, First Nations, this is a, it has a bunch of aliases in here. I actually like this format better, so let's do that. Indigenous. I know that Indian is not necessarily what they most prefer to be called, but that is a term that I would use to normalize language from other people. And this is a tag note. Fit Deer Hunter. This is a, it's not really a YouTube channel, but this is a people. Flow. Flow. This is an app. Right? App. It is a task manager. So there's some duplication in here as well. What task management app do I use? I use I've talked about this, I just use Obsidian. My task management needs are really light. I do Obsidian between a couple boards here that manage like my home tasks. None of these are like crucial that I get done immediately. And then I have daily notes. You can see actually over here. So I open today's daily note. There's like a rough hit list of the day. I don't have anything that's like, and if I have something that wants to remind me of something like multiple days in the future, then I just put it on a future daily note. So I know coming up I have one to talk to Mr. Sean Blanc about stuff. Where's that? Get back to Sean right there. About something for his site, for the suite setup, because I helped build that site. So I know that. That's all I do. So on that day, I'll do something, and if it goes past that day, then it'll show up in the checklist thing here, and then I know I can move it forward. So I do like checklist. I just wish it worked on get coffee is pretty crucial. You're right. It is very crucial. So it's cold coffee right now. How about TickTick? TickTick's really good. I used it for quite a while. TickTick's really nice. So use what you need. Most of my task management previously was for clients. I was managing those types of big projects and getting back to leads and stuff like that. I don't have to do any of that now. So there's a sales team at Mark Kenton where I work. There is a whole bunch of people that do lots of other things. I just need to work on the web stuff. And we have Rike for that. So Rike takes care of all that stuff for me. I don't need to worry about it. TickTick's great though. It's a really good app. It has a great calendaring feature. Do I have it on my iPad? I do. It has a great calendaring feature. Right, you can see in here, like here's all my calendar. I could go in here. I don't know if I have any tasks. No, that's not what I wanted. I want to go here. Yeah, so like I could pull tasks out here and I can say, I want to do this like today. I gotta touch with my finger, don't I? There you go. So it's super, super good. There's so many things I love about it, but it just wasn't for me anymore. And that's okay. That's okay. So I don't use it anymore. It's good. Right, even the new OmniFocus beta, which you looked a little bit at in the stream, looks nice. I'm not convinced I'm going to do anything. Like, I don't think I'm going to use it. I manage my content over in my K simply to denote all my Kanban boards. I manage all my writing in here. Right, and if I go into, so this I recorded earlier in the stream today, I just have my checklist in here. I just do it and I'm done. Don't need anything else. I don't need any more than that. The biggest projects I manage today is this. And then if I'm doing my course, that's K getting started with Obsidian. Like it's again, all on a Kanban board. So what I'm working on, right, here's all the ideas, here's all the to-dos. I think I probably did links versus tags. Is that in here? Tags or links in your Zettelkasten. And so actually I've done this because I just recorded this earlier. I've written about it. So I would just drag that over here. And I need to come in here and I need to go like this. And I would, transclude tags or links. Right, that's the one that actually has, yep, this is like what I literally just wrote about with somebody. So that's good. And clearly I've got one in my inbox too that I don't need. So if I went over to my inbox, there should be a tag versus links somewhere in here that I can delete. All right, tags or links, delete. Don't need that one, it's duplicate. That's what I need for task management. Not a lot, not heavy. So I don't worry about it. The Kanban plugin is often to have the option to move multiple cards. Does it have the option to move multiple cards? I mean, you can move them by dragging them, right? Like you mean shift click? No, like I can only move one card at a time. Only move one card at a time. Stormbreeze, as Native Americans, we use cuz within the tribe a lot, even though we are not related. Different tribes we refer to as brothers and sisters. So I am not First Nations, which is what we'd say in Canada. But it does seem from everything I continue to listen to and read as I try to be a better settler, that like your story, where you come from, who you know, and your family is very crucial in a way that it's not to me. Like it's not to many European people of European descent in your family, and how you relate into that is big, which like makes like the 60 scoop that Canada did, and like honestly the genocide we committed, terrible, terrible, terrible. Right, there's another 700 bodies found in somewhere in Canada recently, just like yesterday. I forget exactly where. After the Kamloops one, that was 217 bodies of Indigenous children found. So I support skipping Canada Day this year and doing it better. Doing it better, because we do a pretty terrible job of it. Of treating First Nations as people. And we like one of the things of genocide, differentiators of genocide, is taking children away from the people group, and Canada did that and needs to start admitting it. So Amazing Marvin. Yeah, do I have Marvin on here? Marvin. Nope. The Amazing Marvin. So yes, I have seen that. The Amazing. And now the next question is, have you tried it? And the answer is nope. The Amazing Marvin, customizable task manager. So, and it looks cool. I've seen it. But like it doesn't solve any problems I have. I don't have any problems with my task management system yet that I think will solve this. So I'm just not into it. Then my other question is, does it support iPad? Like, well, not just like, sort of crappily, like really well. So I'm probably never gonna try. Same reason I don't try like all the other like note-taking resources out there. I just don't want to. Stormrise. Maybe upset if they disturb graves. Yeah, I don't want that. Actually, no, years ago they were doing a survey. I don't do a ton of hiking. They were doing a survey of some land I'd hiked on a bunch. It's in theory just public land for everyone. They're doing a survey of it, and I had a First Nations, I don't know if it's an older guy come by. I don't know the right term to use, so forgive me if it's the wrong term. He's an older guy. Maybe an elder, and he was like supposed to like look around for First Nation stuff, and he was like, do you know if there's any caves? I was just hiking. I was like, I do know. And we walked out to like 5 or 6 different caves that he kind of marked off on his map and was going to come back to. So I'll never know what came of it, but we need to do way better. Well, we're trying to see. Construction is really starting, but here's some machine running now. The Bobcat, at least. So you probably get to hear it too. Yeah. Amazing Marvin. This is also why I stream at 6. So, vying for the worst question of the day: how do you keep books open while you're taking notes from the couch? Kevin, you've asked me this before. I've showed it to you. So some books, well, like the Data Detective, just like lay open pretty good. I just lay them beside me. At worst, I might grab something heavy and stick it on top, a second book or something. Yeah, when I'm sitting at my desk, I actually can set everything back far enough that my arms just hold it down, which is fine. But I just kind of spread it open. It's not the worst question. It's like I struggled with that. Stick a coaster on it. Like sometimes there's like a little weight kicking around, or like a massage ball for your foot, and stick that on top of it. That's what I do. Just stick something on it, hold it open. I've also had good luck with. Let me go grab one. Big black binder clip. Hang on. Okay, I've had good luck using this. Let me just bring it up to. So if you like, when you go to open a book, the pages sit back like this. But if you go like that and like keep them even, take a big binder clip on it, you've now kind of held the book open better. That can work. So I've had good luck with that as well. The best plugins I use in Obsidian, I think I'm still kind of a bit of flux on exactly what I use for Obsidian. Oh, wrong. I'm in Safari. Apologize for the construction. That's gonna leave my window open, or else it'll be 75 now, so it's been up 3 degrees since we started. What do I use? I use advanced tables a bit. Calendar I definitely use like every day. Oh, you can't see it now, sorry. So I use calendar, wrong device. I use calendar every day. I use advanced tables a bit. That just gives you better markdown tables. The command palette, clearly. Daily notes all the time. Data view, I want to get into that. I haven't done it yet. Kanban all the time. Natural language dates. I keep wanting to use that. I don't use it a ton yet. Note refactor. So that lets me refactor a node if I want to like highlight and say this is actually a big idea that needs to be pulled out into its own node. It lets me pull that out really easily. And there's keyboards command for it. I don't know what they are. Outliner, that lets you move outlines, so like literally bulleted lists up and down really easily, and it'll actually grab all the sub items if you have a nested list as well. That's good. Paste URL into selection I use as well. Slated, I use that. And tasks and templater. Those are my favorites right now. I want to dig into data view. I'd like to do a better video on just data view. But that's it. You like my binder clip? You can also clip the binder clip on top too, actually. On top of the book when you hold it open. So here's somebody coming down. Did I hear the kids made a mess? That's nice. So now I have lots of extra noise at 7:25. Fair enough. Obsidian Mobile, really good. So I was showing it off today. Obsidian Mobile. Obsidian Mobile. Does pretty much everything. There's a few plugins that don't work. The Outliner plugin doesn't work that I just talked about. And the checklist plugin that I just started trying today doesn't load at all. So I have had no crashes until this morning when I was doing some pre-writing. And what was I doing? I was doing like, I don't remember. I was trying to write like, sorry, backtick, tag note, and it crashed. Just on one instance of it. Like I wrote that like multiple times, but there was one note it wouldn't do it. When I switched to another note, it was fine. And I came back to that one, it just wouldn't do it. I have no idea why. So I just switched over to my Mac and did that instead. So other than that, it's really solid. Right, splitting is excellent. I love that be able to do that, and I can split again. So this, like, the Vim nerd in me loves this. It's just good, so good. The graph view is solid. Probably my biggest gripe with it is if I do stuff like, so this puts my calendar over here, which is fine. Totally fine on the mobile version, but when I go over to my desktop version where I really want my calendar is down here. I want it down there, and that's a better one for me. I just want it down here, and you know what the truth is? Doesn't work. So what'll happen is it keeps, oh my, I'm in the way. Oh, I can't adjust it. So I want my calendar down there. Anyways, you can see it. And what happens often is I come back after quitting and coming back, and I can only assume that the mobile version has moved my calendar back up to where it was before. That's all I can tell. So that's annoying, and I've decided to live with it. Like I just leave my calendar up where it is, because the mobile version doesn't have full drag and drop panels, unfortunately. And maybe it'll get there. So Obsidian Mobile is great. Works good on the phone. Biggest, I wish I had keyboard. I wish there was a better way to do keyboard commands on the phone, because you just can't. So you have to like drag my phone up. I do have my phone up. Next. Why is it sideways? That's not what I want. Okay, man, plug this. Plug it back in. And coming back. iPhone picture in picture should come up. Oh, no, it's not even coming up. Okay. So the phone you gotta drag down. That's all I can tell you. Just gotta keep dragging down to make it actually work. And it's not even showing up as a data source now for my stream. It's alright. I was gonna show you, just gotta drag it down. I guess I can show you on the iPad version. Is the iPhone coming up again? Nope. Nope. So on the iPad version, if I reach up and just like drag, you can drag down, and then I could type like with the on-screen keyboard to do something. So to do like open, or I guess I'd type quick switcher, because there's no Command O. Like I can't type Command O on my iPhone, so that's a problem. Anyway, there's a lot of noise next door. I think we'll do like end up pretty quick, so that I can cut the noise, because I gotta listen to this all day now. But also need to stay cool. So, any other questions? Do I use Craft now? Obsidian versus Craft, which is the best? No, it's not one best. I found that as I was writing in my writing stuff over here, writing, that what I really wanted is, as I was writing, especially in the book reviews, I wanted to be able to link out to other things. Right, I want to link to other notes. And if I'm writing in Obsidian, managing my content calendar in Obsidian, I can't be really like backlinking to Craft. So that's what finally got me to make the switch. The only reason I switched to Craft in the first place because the Obsidian mobile app was essentially going to be a bad app, not an app useful to someone who uses their iPad a lot. So once it was more than that, I didn't worry about it. You expect Storm Breeze. You expect to see a deep dive into Obsidian next month. Well, it's not going to happen. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I'm working on it. Right, you can see how far I am in some ways. Okay, getting started. This will be my Obsidian course. All right, these ones are written. These ones I want to all do. My outline. So I'll probably launch the course when I get through the beginner stuff. Definitely the intermediate stuff. Right here. Definitely the intermediate stuff. And then we'll see about the advanced. Also wondering about how I change my Patreon, stuff like that. So if I change Patreon over to be on my site in WordPress, then I will do that. So I don't even know what the ArcGIS is, but cool. Something that I don't know about. And the reason I use Craft now is for coaching daily notes. Yeah, the daily notes in Craft are super cool. They're super cool. I wish that Obsidian did it, specifically when we go into, oh, I don't want that, I want this, daily note. Specifically when I go into like a daily note and say, courses, I want to go open today's note, create daily note, good. And like I want to take a note, this is my daughter's swimming, so I'm not really going to do that, but like then I can actually have a note on the day. I really like that. In contrast, in here, right, I have a stream. This is like a meeting. Same idea. I'd love to be able to drag and drop in there. Geographical information system. Just mapping. Best nonfiction and fiction book I read. One of my favorite series is the Expanse series for fiction. What's the other one? Rick Brown, RYK Brown has a long series, Frontier Saga, really good as well. Only on Kindle for the beginning, 17 books. I wish it was hardcover, or like I could get a physical copy, but I can't. Best non-fiction book I read. Probably the most influential was Deep Work. The best non-fiction book. You know, I can even show what have I read this year that I really liked. If I go to Storygraph, which is what I do. This is where I do, so I want to support Amazon as little as possible. I'll sign in, unlock, fingerprint. I love the fingerprint, so cool. On the M1 Mac, it's actually the reason that the MacBook Air, where is it, under my profile? 5 stars are Anxious People, excellent. Midnight Library, excellent. And this is a series of comics. I talked about it. There's a bunch of European people. It's like Scandinavian comics. Really good. What else have I rated highly? Where can I find that stats? The Data Detective is quite good as well. What can I find where I rated things? This is not all my books. This is just all like, so I rated 4 stars. First Break All the Rules. Yeah, that was good. Cinnamon, good. Monster in the Hall. There's a lot of fiction in here. First Break All the Rules would be the only 3 5s. Oh, I saw. We looked at those already. What I rated 3 stars. This is mostly this year. World to the Email. It was okay. It's pretty good. It's okay. Normal Sucks. I enjoyed that one as well. It's okay. Anxious People was I just thought it was hilarious, especially the guy in the bathroom. When you get there, I laughed out loud many times. Anxious People was really good. Midnight Library is also quite good by Matt Haig. Just excellent children's stories as well. 3 stars, Why We Can't Sleep. So 3 stars I'd say is like an average book. These are average. They're fine. Love Lives here was good, decent. Yeah, that's what I got right now. What else is on my bookshelf that I'm going to read? Invisible Women, excellent and frustrating book about how women are missing in data and missing in planning. Range by David Epstein, really good as well. What's the other one? The Death of Expertise, really good. I'm doing reviews on some of these online in my videos. Shorter was good. Late Bloomers was good. I enjoyed Innovators by Walter Isaacson. That was good. I don't know. That's all I can think of right now. That should be lots to read. Happiness Advantage. It's been a long time since I read that, but I have another copy to read that again. So Good They Can't Ignore You, also like that. Alright, that's all I got right now. I think I will end it so I can let my wife get out for her run. Thanks for watching. We'll be doing this again at 6 o'clock next week, 6 in the a.m. We'll record 3 or 4 videos, and then we will answer questions, talk about research, talk about whatever. Seems like I have as many people at 6 a.m. as I do at 1 p.m. And it's cooler and it's quiet until 7. And this construction ends like next week, next Friday. They should just be moving in. So there'll be a bunch of trucks moving in at 7 maybe. Anyway, it should be pretty much done. So it'll be quieter and quieter over there, which will be nice. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for your questions. Great. Thanks for the interactions. Ciao.